Good Wednesday evening and welcome to From the Tomb with Cadoom. I am your host, Lucas Cadoom. I want to welcome you all to Wicked Wednesdays and the Cadoomed family. If you turned in last week, you know we're talking about the Indiana State Sanitorium tonight. I've got a brief history for you, and then we'll get into some paranormal investigations and breaking down different styles of investigating and different equipment. Of course, this episode isn't to prove that these are paranormal instances. It's just to open your eyes and broaden your minds a little bit to different possibilities that might be out there that you might not necessarily believe in. After I share this evidence and investigation clips and comment on them, I will share a personal experience of mine from when I was 14 or 15 years old to let you know maybe, just maybe, why I might believe in the spirits and afterlife and all of these things that I'm about to show you today. To start us off, in 1908, the Indiana State Tuberculosis Hospital was built and started operation until 1968. There were over 2,500 deaths in this hospital during the time it was operated. Modern antibiotics shut down the facility in 1968, but before it shut down, it was basically its own self-sufficient town that was quarantined from society to prevent the spread of tuberculosis. Mistreatment became extremely prevalent throughout the history of this facility, even into the nursing home and psych ward days, causing high levels of paranormal activity, including EVPs, disembodied voices, shadow figures, full apparitions, thermal imagery, and much more. In the mid-1970s, Lee Allen Bryan, which is a group of accountants from Chicago, a father and two sons to be specific, purchased the facility and turned it into a psychiatric specialized nursing home, and the psych ward followed shortly after. These were both under maintenance and terribly staffed from 1976 until they were abandoned in 2011. There were over 400 patients and 200 staff who all lived on the grounds, which at this point the grounds were over 500 acres to become that self-sufficient town. And another approximately 2,500 deaths occurred during the time it was a nursing home and psych ward. Most of these did happen during the nursing home days, which makes sense, of course. But as far as the psych ward goes, there were people escaping and getting hit by vehicles. In 2006, one person escaped and got on top of the water tower nude and froze. And there was a death from someone escaping and freezing to death in the woods as well. There were also 4 known self-unalivings off of the roof. What shut it down in 2011 was the facility losing their license after investigations showing that conditions and treatment never improved upon the prior investigations that were done into the facility, and everything was abandoned. They left everything: equipment, last pay stubs, personal effects from the guests and staff. There were things like birthday cards and luggage and dolls, and everything original was there. The current owners had to clean everything out with the help of the state, and now they've got it into a facility that you can tour during the day for $25, and they also have paranormal investigation packages for nighttime exploration that you can get involved in. Now, the grounds does have a potter's field, which, if you don't know what that is, it is where they buried unclaimed and unknown people. And there are approximately 15 to 18 buildings on the whole property, depending on how you count them, and most of them are connected by the steam tunnels. Now, the big thing about these steam tunnels, they had the morgue connected to them underground. And in 2009, there was a offing and self-offing that happened down there. Kenneth Godfrey was one tapped by Ryan Clark, and Ryan then returned to the area by the power plant still underground at the bottom of the steps and decided to turn his own light switch off as well. And this is thought to be all because Kenneth got a promotion that Ryan thought he should have had, and it set him off. So now let's get into these little clips and breakdowns of evidence and investigation styles I have for you today, and we will get this episode finished up, and I will tell you my own personal story dealing with the paranormal.
You did fine a while ago. You did just what you needed. Well, God love you, and we'll...
Dark and creepy now. Hey.
Are you willing to talk to us?
Are you willing to talk to us?
You feel okay?
You feel okay? Nothing here.
Who was killed here?
Here.
Do you know the name of the victim?
The first two clips we have in that set both come from Paraholics. These clips showcase the different qualities they can capture on the same microphone depending on how they're using it and the ambient surroundings in the mic settings. If you want to know what kind of microphone this is and other quirks and details about how to use it, go check out their full videos that are linked in the description below. The next clip we come to comes from DVDParanormal, and it shows a shoulder height approximately partial apparition, that translucent figure you see on the screen. We know this isn't light play from flashlights behind them or lights they have set up, because you can see through it, and an actual light would be completely solid on the video screen in the night vision itself. That's also what that text that you can't read is saying on the screen. Then we round out this set of clips with all Paraholics. The first is captured in the Adams Hall on the 5th floor, which housed all the violent male inmates. The way the psych ward was structured, the 5th floor held the violent male inmates, the 4th floor held the male inmates that couldn't be around women, the 3rd floor held the female inmates that couldn't be around men, and the first 2 floors were co-ed. The next 2 clips to end that group of clips, all by Paraholics, are showing the singular conversation with Mary and the different quality EVPs, electronic voice phenomenons, which are voices they can't hear with their own ears, but they can hear it through the microphones and their recording devices or cameras on playback, but showing the different qualities they can capture even in the same conversation at the same place, one right after the other, at different times of the recording based on the microphone they're using. The last clip of that set is the Paraholics in the tunnels, and they are actually talking to the man who was murdered, which we'll see happen with other groups throughout this whole video. That man's name, as you could see in that clip, was Kenneth Godfrey, and he was killed by a man named Ryan Clark because Kenneth got a promotion that Ryan thought he should have got. After Ryan killed Kenneth, he went back to the power plant area, but while he was still in the tunnels, he decided to off himself as well. So as you'll see throughout the video, and as you've already seen in the clips I've already shown, different investigative groups focus on different things based on what they think will be the most concrete version of evidence for other people. A lot of people treat ghost hunting like a science more than just a hobby, because there is no actual proof of the afterlife or no belief in how it actually happens. It's just everybody's singular opinions. So let's take a look at another set of clips, and I will get back to you with a little bit more information on techniques and equipment and styles of ghost hunting.
People that come people that come and crash here
There's gotta be an entrance up here somewhere.
Yeah, let's see here. So
What?
Can you come talk to us? Where are you?
Can you tell us if there, in any of these buildings, is there anything negative? Is that a yes? Oh yeah, it's sticking
It's
yes.
like multiple yeses.
Yeah. Can you point the rods to where the negative spirits are, where they reside?
One's like on the wall, and one's kind of.
Ooh, that one's climbing up.
Oh, there's both of them are on the. Yeah, they're more towards the middle. There you go.
The doorway, was that you?
Headshot.
Headshot. Oh!
There.
Is that you want us to go to the tunnel?
It kind of just happened.
You want us to go to the tunnel to explore where the headshot was, where the guy
Yes.
So first up in this clip set, we have an EVP from DVDParanormal, and this EVP clearly says die, and we have it on replay a couple times for you. If you go check out their original video, you will see they caught this on multiple cameras at the same time, which is not very common to do, especially with no prompt or any other reason for the EVP to happen. Next up after that, we have the first clip you'll see of the thermal image the TV show Destination Truth captured. I have linked their YouTube clip of this episode in the description below, and you can clearly see on the 4th floor next to the entryway, which would also be the stairway inside, there is a thermal image that moves left to right on the screen of the FLIR camera. And that is unexplainable, and they actually go up and check and look around the whole building and see there's nobody else in there for that human shape to have moved like that. Then we have 2 more clips from Paraholics when they are in the Adams Hall 5th floor, with someone saying they are right behind the lead investigator and letting Paraholics know that they are not going to speak anymore tonight, so who knows where that will lead. Then after that, you see a dowsing rod session. Now that is not something I will typically include as paranormal evidence, because a lot of the times you can tell people are physically manipulating the rods. What is supposed to happen is the spirits are supposed to grab the ends of the rods and do what the other person is asking. But a lot of the times you will be able to tell that the people holding them are moving the rods themselves. After my careful examination, after years of watching paranormal investigations and things of this nature, I would say that this is one of the cleanest dowsing rod sessions I've ever seen. And it's pretty accurate to the responses of the questions they're asking as well, so I threw it in here. Then we get into one of the clips from a group I actually subscribe to on YouTube myself, the Overnight Podcast, which includes Matt Rife, the comedian, and they are doing what is called an SLS camera session. Now, if you know anything about video games or paranormal hunting, you know that an SLS camera is basically just an Xbox Kinect hooked up to a tablet or iPad, and that'll show you what would be the connective points of the skeleton, the joints, the shoulders, the head, so on and so forth, which is what let you use your body to control the video games with the Xbox Kinect. They have just adapted it to use it to hopefully outline spirits for us. Then the last thing we see in this set of clips also comes from Chandler's Haunts, and this is what we call an Estes session. Now, what an Estes session is basically sensory deprivation. The person puts on a blindfold, they sit alone with nothing touching them, and they listen to what we call an SB7 spirit box, which cycles through different radio stations, whether it's forwards, backwards, high speeds, low speeds, and you pick out the things that are said and you repeat them while the other person with you asks questions and try to get it to be direct responses, which we'll see through a couple of the groups throughout the video. Again, this is something that can be manipulated pretty easily, so I don't know how much stock to put into it, but I've noticed it become a lot more common in the paranormal investigation scene lately. So let's get into the third set of clips and see what we're looking at this time.
If there's somebody here that wants to communicate, can you cross the rods on top of each other? Nice.
Okay, let's go.
And so if you ever want to say no, all you have to do is open the rods so they hit Paula's arms on the outside, okay? So they just open up wide.
Yeah, let's see here. So
What?
Are you getting some energy from us?
Yeah.
Yeah? Ooh, wow, that's a yes. That's like... Can you travel to the other buildings here? Yes. All right.
That's true. I would like to know the year that you passed away. Make any of our devices go off.
Do you need a nurse or one of the helpers here?
One of the helpers here?
Getting into this third set of clips, we have Paraholics again in the Adams Hall, which was the psych ward, and it did house criminally insane people. The first two EVPs they got in this set of clips, the first says that the dead are angry, and when they try and figure out why, they say they are angry because they cannot sleep with them in the halls. They did have a female with them, which would make sense in the floors of the Adams Hall they were in, because they would have been being held by the state for criminal reasons. Then we have another clip from the Chandler's Haunts dowsing rod session that is explaining to you and showing you an example of how it works. These spirits are supposed to cross the rods for a yes answer and spread the rods apart for a no answer. Then we have another clip of the Destination Truth thermal image, but in this clip they actually show you a highlight circle around the window you're supposed to be looking in to see the thermal image and then show the image moving again. After that, we get into another clip of the dowsing rod session from Chandler's Haunts, which shows you a really good example of the spirits actively reacting to the questions they're being asked and seeing them answer it with the crossing the rods to make the yes answer. After that, we get into another clip from the overnight channel that is showing you on screen what the SLS camera is showing them to what they are reacting to. And you can see that there is nobody standing in front of the camera, but it is showing a tall, lanky figure there, like there is someone there. Then after that, we see two more clips from Paraholics, the first coming from the Adams Hall with a reiteration of saying they cannot sleep with people in the hallway. Which, again, being in the floors they were in, the 4th and 5th floors, it would make the most sense for them to be angry about not being able to sleep with people. After that, we have another clip of their conversation with the spirit named Mary. When they asked for help, the spirit responded with yes, she needed one of the staff members from the facility. As someone who grew up on shows like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and Destination Truth, I am kind of particular to the old school methods of ghost hunting, EVPs, direct voice phenomenons, which are disembodied voices you can hear in live time that have no explanation. Another thing I like are the different meters, like EMF meters and K2 meters and cat balls and toys with these meters in them. And I haven't included a lot of that evidence because it tends to be pretty loud and annoying sounds that you're hearing. And most of my listeners are going to be on audio podcasts, and I thought I would save their ears. But that is also why I linked the videos in the description so you can go see the evidence I couldn't share here, and I highly recommend doing that. They are all interesting videos, and I tried not to include full segments from their videos and just bits and pieces I could kind of poke around and explain a little bit to the people. That being said, let's get into the last set of clips we have for the night, and I will break those down and tell you my own paranormal experience. Well, one of them that have got me to look into this and research it a little bit deeper and give my free time to it, so to speak. Eventually, I would love to start a YouTube channel of my own doing investigations and trying to get answers for everybody.
Could you tell me your name, please? I'm Mike.
I'm Mike.
See me?
Can you see me?
Can you walk down this way with me, please?
You walk down this way with me, please?
You don't mind? Step on out here in the hall with me.
You don't mind? Step on out here in the hall with me. Are you
Down that way? Or behind me?
that way? Or behind me?
What room number are you in?
Room number are you in? Victim?
Are you the victim?
The victim?
That had to have been.
First up, we have a long segment of Paraholics having their beginnings of the conversation with Mary. You can hear the man named Mike ask her name and hear her respond once he told her his name. Then you can hear them talk about her room and what room number she's in and where she's at, all at one time. And I included this all at once because it gives me a good chance to explain the difference between active hauntings and residual hauntings. Active hauntings are where the spirits are actively answering questions and making sounds or making meters go off in responses to things you're asking or doing yourself. And residual is more where it's just the energy of the place. It's just the spirits reliving things that they've already done in life and you hearing the sounds and voices of those things going on. And those are pretty potential differences in the paranormal hunting world. So I thought it would be a good idea to show you guys the difference between the residual and the active. And we finish it out with 2 more clips from Paraholics down in the tunnels, asking if there was someone murdered there, and the victim of the murder responding himself, saying it was me, Kenneth, and asking if they were the victim they were talking to, and the spirit saying that he is the victim, who we know to be Kenneth Godfrey. So that wraps up the clips portion of this episode, and I want to know what you guys think. I personally believe the Indiana State Sanitorium is haunted, and one day I would love to go on a paranormal investigation there of my own. And there's a lot of other places that I know quite a bit about that I'm probably going to keep showcasing. This is something that has always kept my interest pretty well. I've always had incidents that push me to believe the spirits and afterlife play a big part that we don't realize they do while we are alive, and I would love to figure out more about that and contribute to actual knowledge about that. With that being said, my own paranormal story that I'm going to include today is one of my bigger, darker paranormal stories that I have. When I was younger, after confirming with my mom, I was only about 11 or 12, not 15 like I mentioned before. We had a pair of mentally slower Wiccans living next door to us, and I had recently been diagnosed with my type 1 diabetes. Well, they had tried to perform a kind of healing protective spell on me, and it didn't go as they planned. Let's put it that way. Shortly thereafter, I started to sleep with my eyes open and notice severe emotional switches and problems being how I wanted to be. And shortly after that, there was a night my stepfather made my mother cry. Let me say, at this time, I couldn't curl 8-pound dumbbells. I was a very out-of-shape younger child due to the diabetes not getting diagnosed for so long. But somehow this night, I managed to lift a 25-pound dumbbell over my head and try to attack my stepfather with it, to the point my mother had to call my grandparents and get me out of the home that night. And like I said, that's just one of the many stories I have relating to the paranormal and spirit world that we deal with, even though a lot of us don't know it. So what do you think? Is the paranormal real? Does it actually exist? Or is it just something we trick ourselves to believe in because we don't want to believe that it's just over when it's over? That there is life after death. That there is a way to escape your tomb even if you can't do it in real life. Who knows? Tune in and see what we cover next week that might open your eyes to new horizons. And just remember to keep it twisted and escape your tomb. This has been Cadoom. This has been From the Tomb with Cadoom. Welcome to the Cadoom family. Like, follow, subscribe, and interact with us on social media. And you guys have a great Wednesday night.